Well, good morning. Welcome to my channel, A Country Life. I'm Jennifer, and today is going to be a vlog day. I'm just going to bring you guys along on the whole day, and it's pretty early here this morning. It is before 7 a.m. I have a bag of seeds. I am heading down to the garden. I still have not gotten the garden planted, and there's a lot of things that play into that. On my way down to the garden, I had to, of course, stop and, in air quotes, smell the roses. So, just looking at my geraniums, it looks like these are very slow to bloom. This is like a salmon color, but it looks like there's another bud right there. And nope, that's going to be a white one. So I'm just really looking forward to watching those kind of, sorry for the yawn in the morning, watching those start to bloom. My lupines, which I believe were a gift from Peter. I think he picked those out a few years ago, and it just keeps getting a little bigger and a little bigger every year, which is exciting. I have two big like spires of flowers on there, and the irises are blooming. I just kind of let the irises go wherever they want to go, and they don't fill in super thick, but they're pretty nonetheless. Just an old-fashioned iris. I see the coreopsis is just starting to bloom, which again, that makes me happy. I just love this orange color. It's just so pretty. Some years this gets like a just a mound on it. It's just so full. So I hope I see some more. 1, 2, 3. There's one over there. 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like there's 8, 9. Oh, there's another one, 10. Although that one looks like it got stepped on. I wonder if there's a bunny running around. I think there is, actually, because I know Peter has been telling me that there's bunnies running around. Beautiful day out here. It's cloudy right now and cool, but so nice. I want to show you the daylilies are blooming over here. Oh, they're so pretty. A few irises in there. All right, well, anyway, I know this is a slow start to planting the garden, but it's my birthday, and I'll do what I want to. It appears that some weeds, these are not weeds down here. This is actually where I'm letting the dill come up from last year. I mean, there are some weeds popping up with it too that I will pull out, but not today. I have some weeds popping up where I had my tomatoes last year, I see. But other than that, everything else looks pretty clear. Oh, down there it looks a little weedy. What did I have there last year? Onions, possibly. No, I think peppers. And I feel like I should probably do the onions first. They're easy to put in. And, yeah, I think we're just going to start with onions. I have red onions and yellow onions. I have one of these weed guard fabric stakes, and I like to use this, just kind of poke a hole, kind of spin it around to make the hole just the size I want. A lot of times I'll have the kids out here with me, and then we can plant really quick. We can get the onions done quick, because what I'll do, well, it doesn't really matter which one, but one of us will make the holes, and one of us will go behind and drop in the onion set. If you are new to gardening, you kind of have to look where the tip is of the onion. So there's the bottom. That's where you could, maybe you can tell that's where the roots would have grown. Here's a better example. There's actually still a little bit of root on there. And so you want to plant that down because the roots go down. I have read and heard from different people. Some people like to bury their onion set completely, like all the way up to 2 or even 3 inches underground. And other people like to bury them just so that the very tip where the green part is going to grow out. Some people like to bury it so that is still sticking out of the ground. I usually go half and half every year and just kind of watch to see which seem to do better. And I would say that they almost always just do the same. And I have some gloves still in my fanny pack from when we were planting cranberries this weekend, and I think I'm going to wear a glove to cover these up just because when I'm all done with this, I want to go in and take a shower, and then I want to do my nails today. And if my fingernails are all kind of grody around the edges, it's not going to look real pretty, is it? Well, the family has descended upon me. So Peter is down here, Maria was already down here, Warren was down here, Sam left for work. Oh my goodness, everybody is down here now, right? And it's only like 7:30 in the morning. So
it's a beautiful morning.
It is a beautiful morning. You're right, Peter. So I have 122 onions that I just planted. So it was probably heavier on the yellow than the red. But anyway, 122 of those. And now we're just gonna look and see what we're gonna plant next. Peter is gunning for maybe some radishes, but I was kind of thinking maybe those also to put in the tall planter. I was kind of thinking of that.
How about broccoli?
Some of the stuff, Peter, I already had to buy plants for because I didn't get the seeds planted this spring. Okay, we're gonna turn the camera off and just kind of look through and think through this. So we settled on straight 8s, which is a variety of cucumber, more of a slicing cucumber, and then just 1 seed. Are you putting 2 in? Just put 1 seed in each hole. And if we, depending on how far this gets us, then we'll probably plant some Boston picklers as well. So we're just wrapping up getting in the Boston pickling cucumbers. And I feel like we are planting them a little bit closer this year, but that's okay because sometimes one that doesn't germinate, or for whatever reason, it just doesn't germinate. So we can always pull plants, but we don't want to have to replant.
So we have cucumbers. Pickles.
Yep.
All the way to here, and then these are cucumbers.
Slicing cucumbers.
And then we got yellow onions. All the way to.
The yellow onions go all the way to, right about here.
No, there's another.
Oh yeah, right there. It goes right here, right by those 2 maple seeds.
And then this is all like green onions?
Red onions. It's been a long time since I've done yellow beans, Peter, but show the front of the package.
Oh, here comes
And
sugar.
what is this variety? This is called, it'll say right under the word bean, right by your thumb.
Wax bush.
Cherokee wax bush. So that's the variety I have today, and we're going to do 1 row of the yellow wax beans, and then I have some other, you want to show us the seed? Okay. And then I have a whole bunch of Blue Lake bush. This is the first year that we bought our seeds from True Value. For a little trivia, we actually bought all of our seed at True Value in Prairie du Chien when we were down there for a Charlie Barron's show.
Those are all about 1 inch.
Probably. Since we loosened it up, Since we loosened up the soil. Here, no, you don't have to push them down quite so far. Just lay it in there, and then I'll cover it with 1 inch of soil. Peter and I are over here just digging up the corn stalks because we're going to plant beans in this area, and we hear a little sound. It's like, who is that? Oh, it's Joe. What does Joe have? He's got the entire cookie jar. Is you just like grabbed the cookie jar and brought it down here, and Dad and Maria didn't even see you?
Yep.
Really? Okay, just the 1 cookie, and then go put that back up. You need to have some breakfast.
And don't drop it.
Not just cookies for breakfast.
Don't drop it.
So Peter and I have a good system going. We just went through and dug up all of the corn stalk, like root clump that was left, which, are your hands sore? My hands are sore from doing that. Okay, and now we have a good system going. He goes through and puts the bean seed in place, and then I come up behind it, making sure I get just about 1/2 to 1 inch of soil over top. And we're going to do this for 1, 2, 3, and then part of a 4th row over there and see what we have left for seed. And I don't know.
This is already the second bag.
Oh, that's already? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking we might get to planting corn today down there, but I'm not thinking that's going to happen because we do need to get in. Yep, the library program starts up today, and I want to get in and shower before that. So, yes, 2 right there. In one of my recent videos, when Joe was down here working with me getting the weed guard fabric laid down, someone had mentioned in there if I have open holes without plants, that maybe to tape over them. And I thought Gorilla Tape would be a great option. One, it's black, and so it would blend in and not, you know, be like an eyesore down here. And then also, it's just super sticky. I thought that was a fantastic idea. I'm definitely keeping that in the back of my mind so that once the garden is all planted and I know what spots are empty, I can just kind of clean up the spot. I would imagine I'd have to bring a little broom down here, brush off any sand, and then cover it with Gorilla Tape. And I thought that was a great idea. And the idea being that the Gorilla Tape would block out the weeds so that I don't have those extra holes with just, you know, just soil exposed to the sunlight, just waiting for weeds to grow. Because weeds will grow in anything. It's like, I feel like if there's a grain of sand, they can sprout.
I have a swan in the cranberry bag.
So the swan just landed, and although it is really, you know, swans are really beautiful, they are a major pest if they are in the cranberry beds because they have such big webbed feet, and they just, whoa, Peter, and they just trample everything. And I'm sure they, you know, they just peck around at stuff and
they'll eat like the cranberry buds.
Eat the cranberry buds, and I'm sure they dig around in the soil a little bit with their beak. So anyway, they're kind of a pest animal when they're actually in the cranberry bed, but they are fun to watch. Joe just ran back down here with a birthday card for me, which is very sweet. Let's look at it. Hold it up for me. Look at that. Joe and Mom. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. Well, that is the sweetest card ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink.
What's going on, Maria? I think we're out of powdered sugar right now.
Here.
Are you guys making frosting?
You can make powdered sugar out of real sugar.
Yes, we can make powdered sugar out of real sugar. You're going to put this in my fanny pack for me?
Yep, pack.
Put it in my fanny pack. Thank you.
Yep, thank you so much, honey.
Well, you guys know how everything old becomes new again, right?
Oh,
well, just wait. I'm filming this right here. So this fanny pack from back when it was actually called Gander Mountain. I had a question in one of my videos when I was showing that I wear a fanny pack quite often around the yard. Someone said, "Where did you get that?" Well, I got it from Gander Mountain, and I got it probably in let's see, I was married in 1996. Graduated in 1995. I probably got this in like 1993 would be my guess, somewhere around 1993. So believe it or not, it's still going strong. Am I old enough to say, God, they just don't make things the way they used to make them? Everyone must be excited for a Rafters game. Peter's wearing a Rafters shirt. You're wearing a Rafters shirt.
Yeah, Rafters baseball.
They get up close. They're like, oh, maybe not.
Do you want to touch it? Or do you just want to look at him a little closer?
No. We're home from the library program now, and Warren was just getting ready to frost the cake. And using one of my recipes out of the cookbook, and what did you say?
Well, you said, it says in the cookbook, mix it as you would frosting. And I'm like, what does that mean? I've never made frosting before. So I just started dumping everything in, and she's like, you don't want to do it that way.
You might want to cream the butter first. So let's talk through this. So this is the recipe that he used, the yummy chocolate frosting, and we'll talk through this. So I know sometimes I should maybe make my directions a little bit more clear on things like this. and not assume that everyone knows like the order. So when you're making like a buttercream type frosting, you'd want to cream your butter first and get it light and fluffy. Then I typically add in like the wet ingredients, so the vanilla and the evaporated milk, not together. Add them in separately, cream each one in individually until it's well incorporated into the butter. Then add in the baking cocoa, again cream it so it all gets nice and mixed well, and then add in the powdered sugar, but just 1 cup at a time. Because otherwise, if you try to add all 3 cups in at a time, you'll have just a powdered sugar explosion. It's usually best to use a mixer, like a hand mixer or a KitchenAid mixer. Both of those work fine. You really don't want to mix frosting by hand because you just won't add enough air to the frosting and get it fluffy enough. So anyway, just wanted to point that out for you guys in case you haven't made frosting before and you'd like to give it a try. And another thing about this frosting is it is so good cold. It's delicious on brownies. If you like cold brownies with a nice cold frosting, it's good on cake too. Oh, he already has the truck running here. So bees came today. Warren actually is splitting his bee contract. This year Warren has actually decided to get bees from 2 different places. So some bees came today, and then the other batch of bees from the other company are set to come next week.
Yep.
Monday or Tuesday?
Yep. I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday, okay. So he's gonna show me the bees from this new company. We've never had this company's bees before. And then he also has to do moth traps. I think I might have shown that in a video. Actually, it probably hasn't even gone up because I've been trying to get him to film a whole like week in the life cranberry farmer type of video. Not where he has to film tons all day long, just a couple clips. That's still, I guess, asking too much this time of year. He's gonna go and do moth traps, right?
Need your seatbelt on.
Okay. On the marsh, I need my seatbelt on?
Well, if you want the alarm to go off.
Okay. So these look definitely different.
They're just a different design of box, but you can see the bumblebees flying around.
Oh yeah, there's bumblebees zipping all over the place. They're hitting the truck. So there's 4 separate, oh my gosh, is that one that just flew in here?
A horsefly. Yeah, that's a horsefly.
Okay, 4 hives.
4 hives in each box.
They call it a quad.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if you can see it from the video here, but those 2 circles on the front, the one on the right, the bees have not chewed through yet.
They haven't chewed through the white paper yet.
So that little white paper, let's see if I can zoom in on that a little bit better. There we go. So that paper over there has not been chewed through.
You can see a bee working
Yes,
on it.
it's working. Look at that.
He's chewing on it.
And then this one,
See, a bee just came out.
Just came out. Yep, they have it chewed through. So that's what they do. They just chew through and so they can get outside. And then there's 2 more on the other side of that box. Should we pull forward and see if they chewed on the other ones?
I don't know if you can see them with since it's so
right.
on the roof side.
Yep, I see.
Maybe if we go far down.
Oh yeah, we'd have to go away. The one on the left is chewed through for sure.
And the one on the right,
Right looks very close.
That's the bee hut that the December storm destroyed. I still have to put it back together.
Are they chewed through?
Oh, working on them.
Oh, I'm trying to look at that one. The one on the right. Oh, both of those look
Yeah,
like they're
those are
chewed
both
through.
open. Yeah.
And then there's some more beehives on a different part of the marsh as well. Oh, there's one right there tucked back there. We're not going to look at every single one right now, but anyway, there are some more. And then next week we'll get more bumblebees, and then
Probably next week also the honeybees will come.
And then honeybees as well. So yeah, tell us about the difference between the workings of the bumblebee and the honeybee.
Well, the bumblebee hive is much smaller. There's only about 200 bumblebees in a bumblebee hive, but they will work in any kind of weather. Rain, sun, hot, cold, they're out there working. Where a honeybee hive will have thousands of bees, but they are very finicky. They will only pollinate if the weather is just right. If it's cold or rainy, they'll just stay in the hive. If it's too hot, they'll stay in the hives. We get both kinds to try to spread out the risk, and if you have the right weather, the honeybees will do the majority of the pollinating just through sheer numbers of bees. But the bumblebees, when you have poor weather, they're always out there just slow and steady getting flowers pollinated. So I like to get both kinds.
What did you get one of already?
Cranberry fruit.
Fruit worm.
And today is actually,
It's the 7th.
you're right, it is the 7th. Let's see, June 3rd is when I set the moth traps.
So Warren has 3 moth traps here in a row with pheromone attracting different moths that will become, or that were, different worms, right?
Yeah.
And this here is actually what's called a hook, and you can see that is going to eventually here be a flower when it opens. And so the more hooks, the more potential for fruit. See it right there, Warren?
Mm-hmm.
So right now he's just, he's doing what's called sweeping. So he has a sweep net and he goes through, I think it's 20 steps, and then brings it back and he checks to see what he might be sweeping, like what types of insects, what type of little worms he's looking for, larvae, things like that. And I guess I didn't mention that with these moth traps, he's actually tracking their flight. So when you saw him writing things down, he's actually tracking how many he sees on what day of the week, and then he checks on, typically on Mondays and Thursdays is like his normal, but yesterday there was just other things that he had to do, and so so this week I guess it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. But anyway, he tracks that, and then he can see when there's a spike. Is that correct?
What's that?
You're watching for the spike when you're tracking the traps?
7 to 10 days after the peak moth flight, that's when the worms hatch. So you time your insecticide 7 to 10 days after the peak. Well, this is good. I sprayed last Wednesday and I'm not seeing a single worm, not a single span worm.
Oh, yeah.
Or anything. There's a spider, but that's a good thing. Yeah, nothing. Well, we got to do a few more.
So he has moth traps in, do you have moth traps in 3 locations on the marsh, or 4? 3, in 3 different locations across the marsh, just so that he can get, you know, a good reading, average reading of 3 different spots. All right, he's coming back with another load.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Hopefully there's nothing in it.
Exactly. I wasn't filming in the last bed, but there actually was.
There was 1 black-headed fireworm and 1 looper.
Anything in this one? I hear a little one running behind me. That must be Maria.
Hi.
Sounded
Hi,
like
Maria.
flip-flops.
I'm not seeing any
No,
worms.
no worms.
That's
That's
good.
a good thing. So I'm not sure if anyone has checked out the link that I always share to Amazon for Tiger Bloom, but a gallon of Tiger Bloom has gone up to $85. I cannot justify that, even though my hobby in the summer is growing flowers. I can't justify it. So I tried once already to use a homemade fertilizer, which is a tablespoon of Epsom salt in a gallon of water, and I just kind of eyeball it at this point. A teaspoon, you know, there's 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon, so a teaspoon of baking soda, and then You got to open this up carefully. Ammonia. It's only a half teaspoon, so I just bloop right into the gallon jug here. I put the cover back on and I just give it a shake. And now we're going to go out and water some flowers. So I still have some tiger bloom left that I've been using. Usually I go through about 3 jugs of it a year. The 3rd jug though, I always have some left over for the next year. I'm still working on the one that I bought last year for like $20 less. So anyway, what we're gonna do here, if my wagon will stay still, I'm gonna fertilize. It's Tuesday, but we got a lot of rain yesterday and it just doesn't pay to fertilize when everything is so sopping wet, because it just doesn't like take up the fertilizer. All the extra water just ends up running through. There's something pink on my screen. So the homemade fertilizer I have been using, and I've only done it one time so far, on the wheelbarrow in the front yard where I have some petunias, and they're blooming and they're growing. So I would think that it must be working. Sugar just like bit my toe. That's why I kind of looked down quick, like, what is she doing? Why did you bite my toe, huh? Why? Huh? Huh? Why did you bite my toe? This is the wheelbarrow that I have earmarked for using the homemade fertilizer. And these all started as, you know, just the little 4-pack plants. So there's not much to them when they first start out, but they are all, this double petunia is so pretty. And I didn't know what colors were going to be in here because we just used sort of the leftovers from a bunch of different 4-packs, and it turns out that it's all red and white. So it seems to be a nice combination. All right, that's it. And since I have some of this left, and I definitely don't want to have that left over, I wouldn't want the kids to accidentally give it to Sugar or to the chickens. We're just gonna use it up on the other flowers as well. Well, we are all eagerly awaiting supper, aren't we? So we actually ordered, or actually Warren placed an order earlier today for a local Chinese restaurant, and so he's gonna go pick that up. But then I think we're gonna eat between like 5 and 5:30. Did he say 5:30? I don't know, whenever it is that he gets back. But what I've been doing just kind of in the meantime is honestly just a little gift to myself, and that is to just take some time and just kind of do some cleaning. The kind where Mom sort of orchestrates the cleaning, not where I just send a child off to do cleaning. Because sometimes sending a child off to do cleaning doesn't always result in the results that Mom is looking for, right? So anyway, one of the things I like to do, and this is just a tip for you that have, you know, kids that are old enough to kind of clean with you, is to clean with them in a sense, or, you know, have them be your helper. So I am the one in charge, and it's getting done how I want it to be done, but they're helping me out. So like I had Peter just helping me with sweeping in the schoolroom and everything, and we have these little trays that we put shoes on, while I had him just like gently dump them over to dump the sand out, and then we just swept up the sand right from there rather than drag out the vacuum cleaner. Anyway, then if they kind of like clean with me, what happens is that they get the idea of the things that I like to have moved and how you have to reach underneath things and stuff like that. So then when I say to them, oh, Peter, I'd like you to go sweep the schoolroom just the way we did it the other day. Remember what we did? And then I can kind of jog his memory a little bit, and then he can go and get it done. And it'll be better than what he would have done if I just said, hey, go sweep. Because they just sweep the middles and call it good, and that's it, right?
I don't.
You don't, I know, because you cleaned with me enough.
Yeah, and I like go underneath the trays and on the trays and like a little bit under the couch and like underneath everything.
Exactly. So anyway, now we're going to do dishes. So I'm going to wash and Maria is going to dry, and then I give her little tips like grab something that's been draining for a little while rather than take the wettest dish and stuff like that. And I've got what is that? There's a like Cops and Robbers remote control car going in the background. So yep. We're gonna do dishes, and that's it. It's like a little gift to myself to get things cleaned up, because I do like it to be neat and tidy. Well, Warren is back with food. I don't know what everybody else is gonna eat, but I figured I'm just gonna take this out to the patio right now. All the Chinese food. and it
There's two.
smells like actual Chinese food,
take it
not at home Chinese food.
And there's a whole bag about this big of fortune cookies.
Oh really? Fortune cookies? Yum. Leave it here. You're gonna take it?
Yeah.
No, it's my birthday.
All pray. Can we all pray?
There's little bits of all different types of plates.
It's probably better quality than a Jeep though,
I would agree.
and probably playing similar price per Jeep.
Happy birthday to you. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
Yeah, she's got a lot of boyfriends.
Here they come. Look at this.
Yeah. No, 3.
They're really.
So how does it feel to be 50? Because you sure don't look 50. I really can't believe you're 50. What's the matter? Tired of me saying 50? Okay, I'll never say 50 again. Jeez, you 50-year-olds sure are touchy. I think it's a secret stash of chocolate. That's what I think it is. A secret stash of hazelnut, sea salt dark chocolate, and super dark chocolate. Well, thank you.